Okay, am I muted now? Am I okay? No. Am I still muted? Okay. Alright. We got it. It works! Unmute it! Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? I thought it's been some time since I did my last stream, so let's do another stream. And yeah, where are my notes? I need to get my notes up first. Where the hell are my notes? Let's see. Question, is the quality of the video okay? Just want to check that. Give me a sec. Is the quality okay? Boop. Bloop. Bloop. You are what you eat. Yes, that's true. So am I chocolate? If I eat lots of chocolate? It's been a month? Really? It's been that long? Holy moly. The rocket, Chesh's rocket, yeah, I decided to use it as a background because I'm going to just cover tweets today. So I didn't know what to cover the whole background with. My OBS was looking blank, and I decided to use Chesh's drawings, one of her wonderful drawings of the rockets that she did. So here we are. Where are my notes? So the final count. So like my notes are not very precise, right? When I sit down to type or dunk stuff and all that. So there is repetition, a lot of repetition sometimes. So yeah, the final count was, if I go, here we go. Let me just check, double check. Where is it? Is this one? Yeah. Final count was around 8,000 words of my notes. So, yeah, but I will try and not take a lot of time tonight. So if I'm looking a lot to this way, it's because my notes are here. And I prepare notes is because, one, I don't want to go off the topic, and number two, don't want to repeat myself. I'm trying not to repeat myself. So hopefully I won't repeat myself today. So we had a couple of clowns on Twitter going off again, trying to relitigate their already, litigated cases on social media. And Intrigue Feline, they are in the live chat. They were a part of that discussion too a lot, especially with Katie is a liar, who are a Nazi, a neo-Nazi, let's be specific, and then, a critical race theory believer, chemtrails and all that stuff. I think the chemtrails was the other account, but yeah, they are against, against DEI hireship and all that stuff. And if I'm not wrong, if I look at my notes here, here we are. Yeah, like the anti-woke rhetoric. Katie is a liar, goes into a lot of that. Gender ideology, and they're against DEI initiatives, right? And education about topics like transgender people, that they exist. They call it gender ideology. So yeah, basically, like Intrigue Feline said in the live chat, basically Republican idiocracy. You could say that, yeah. Katie is a liar also relies heavily on profanity, but we'll talk about that. We will see how much they rely on profanity, exclamatory phrasing. I don't want to poison the well before we start, so I'll just stop here, right here. So I'll just go through my notes about what I wanted to say before we started, and then we'll take it from there. Yep. Where's my opening stuff? Ta-da! Is it here? Probably. No. Yeah, I should have made 2 separate files. But how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing good. Yeah, I saw Jeremy. They didn't like it that I teased him. I teased Jeremy. I was like, Jeremy's like, Mom, a girl is being mean to me. And he did not like it. So he went after my teeth and dentures, and I was like, that's all you got, buddy? That's it. I will say again, Jeremy, please don't stream while you're driving, because you're driving a very heavy truck on the road and you share the road with other people. Please have some regard for your own life and other people's lives, right? When you're driving on the road. Don't do that. That's not safe. Alright? So, Athens from the live chat, he's angry he can't hit women online. I think he's frustrated that all his threats against Chesh they're not working. Oh yeah, and the funny part is, it looks like it's clear he uses ChatGPT or some sort of AI, because when he put in his comment under Chesh's video, the quotes that an AI usually uses when they're suggesting a reply or some some sort of blurbed speech, he just copy pasted I guess he's not averse to using AI, which is fine. People can use tools if they want to. I'm not averse to using tools to help you articulate yourself better. That's fine. It's fine by me. But it's a little sad that he has to use AI for even like one blurb, comment on YouTube. I sometimes do, when I have to make blurbs like for presentation and stuff, sometimes I do go and chuck something in one of these tools to get something. But apart from that, I don't use it. I don't even use it. Yeah, I don't like to use it, because you never know what it puts out, and then you just can get caught off guard, because if the information you put in is not good enough, you won't get a good output, right? Smitty from the live chat, using AI and being addicted to it are two different things. Sure, sure. At least we hope Jeremy is not like Steve. Steve has long conversations and debates with his AI bot, so. Athens from the live chat, dude blocked me. Wish I could join on dunking on him in the comments. Dang, really? Wow. He's that okay. Oh wow. Okay, so okay, I'll clean my desktop later. So tonight I want to deal with a pattern, right? I want to point out a pattern, and I will be going through screenshots while I do that. So because what has happened in the last week and last couple of days is that it's not just people merely just posting messages, right? And they're not just raising questions. They are like people like Shawn, Katie's a liar, Meghann. They have tried to again relitigate the cases on social media. They have tried again. This time they're trying to take help from Katie's a liar to do that. And what they're doing is they are spreading around these screenshots. I don't know where they came from, how they are verified, right? And they have attached the harshest labels you can find, you know, and they're using them to dogpile on Sharla again. So they're intensifying their, you know, public dogpile on Sharla, against Sharla, all over social. So they try and do that again and again and again, and they're not stopping. And looks like they don't care that they have restraining orders against them. They have lifetime restraining orders against them, if I'm not wrong, and they just do not care, right? We will see. Katie's a liar is very vitriolic, and and it's quite obvious that they are coordinating with Erin and you know, Meghann and all to spread misinformation around. We'll see that. I'll demonstrate it as we go. Also, I want to be very clear from the beginning. I'm discussing whatever is public, what they have posted, right? And what other people have responded to them with. Like, I have responded. Intrigue Feline has responded. So I'm responding to their public discussions, their public rhetoric, and what they have circulated publicly. And whatever they have presented, all any screenshots. You see another screenshot here right now. One of the screenshots. I'm not saying that they are self-serving. They are proving the truth, but I'm also going to question their validity and how they were verified, right? Because there's no way of knowing whatever they're posting, whether it's the truth or is it, you know, they have made it up. There's no way of knowing it, right? Athens from the live chat, reminder, Shawn and Erin continue to violate their RO by constantly talking about Sharla and sharing these photos, yeah. And now they have involved Katie is a liar also in this, right? And I'm not saying that every screenshot doesn't mean anything. I'm not also saying that, you know, that the only interpretation that the screenshots have is the one that these guys are saying is, right? There can be many interpretations of the screenshots. My main issue is the verification, right? And then how whether these screenshots are fake or are they genuine, they are like original, and how are we supposed to verify that, right? What I'm trying to do is, I wrote it down here, I'm trying to separate some things, like 3 main things. That's what I'm trying to do. I'll try to see what the screenshots literally appear to show. what we can reasonably infer from them, and what are the bigger claims that these people are, trying to smuggle in on top of them. What a rhetoric they're adding to these screenshots, right? Because all these three things, they're not the same thing. And also I'll highlight what their behavior is, what logical fallacies they are performing while we go through it. I'll try. I might get it wrong, so that's why I was very happy when Intrigue Feline said that they will be in the live chat. So I was just like, yeah. Because I'm still learning. I still get it wrong sometimes. So yeah. So we'll start now, and the obvious problem, I'll just say one more thing. The obvious problem with these screenshots is that we don't have any raw data around them. We don't have any metadata. We don't have any logs, and context is missing. We don't know what extra context there might be, or etc. What surrounding messages might be, right? So I'm not going to try to blindly deny them, but also I'm not going to be certain of what they are claiming is definitely going on, right? Yes, legal matters can be complex. Yes, Intrigue Feline. Yes. So we will carefully go through what they are claiming and try to, sift through that and see how they smuggle in, rhetoric and false, and jump to conclusions, and how wrong they get it, basically. So it all started from this thing where Shawn posted. It says 4th of March for me, so just be mindful. It might be another date for you. So yeah. Shawn said, haha, so this is how you were stalking me, huh? And comma, and in brackets he says, cops already have this, comma. Let me tell you something, you POS. James Jackson is a white man. He also lived there before me. My mother never lived there. You stalking racist POS. You're wrong, you're a turd. It's time to get flushed. And then over here, the screenshot says, if I go here, it says, I know we didn't, and I have a pissed in that SWAT thread that says so. Not sure who or Marie did it herself, but Marie was playing everyone. And apparently this is someone saying Wolf also used an account called James Jackson, but he made a mistake by listing Yvonne, Arkansas on the account, which is where his mother lived. Yes, I knew that was a sock. That's how I narrowed him down to Arkansas. He thinks he's so smart. And then he goes on to give all the hashtags that he does usually. Hashtag clown, fuckery exposed, hashtag roadhog, hashtag EKC, hashtag Steve, hashtag Mr. Blackfold, hashtag Carly. Okay, I'm not reading all of them. There are too many. I'm not. And then he says again, notice it says how I repeat, she, the court abusing racist piece of shit. So he's referring to Sharla here, and he is violating his restraining order. Again. So he goes, the court abusing racist piece of shit, quote, found me, and quote, again, how she did it, not blondes. So he's trying to, defend blondes again. I don't know why he's hell-bent on defending blondes. Blondes was exposed as being someone who was pretending to be someone else on social media, right? And spreading misinformation around. So, and going in other people's chat, right? There's no way of knowing if this is Sharla. My first criticism is that. I don't know who this is. Shawn claims this is Sharla, but we have no way of authenticating this screenshot or this set of messages, right? So he admits he was in the FB group, huh? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe he was on Facebook. I don't know. And yeah, so this screenshot suggests, yeah, there's some information seeking going on or trying to narrow someone down geographically, yeah? It does not automatically prove stalking or racism or any other larger accusation that Shawn wants to attach to it, right? He's just committing a lot of fallacies here, right? It's like the hasty generalization. He's just taking a small one screenshot and then stretching it into a sweeping claim, right? And then the screenshot over here, it seems to show that there is a discussion of some SOC account, right? It's narrowing down an account to Arkansas or a person, and then there's an attempt to identify who's behind that SOC account. What Shawn is jumping to from here is stalking and racism, total vindication, and proof of some sort of malicious conduct. Like, if the person is trying to figure out who's behind the SOC account, how are they supposed to know whether that person is a person of color or not? Right? There's no way a person will know if they're still trying to figure out who the person is behind a SOC account, or trying to narrow down, who's behind the account, right? So he's just treating every single evidentiary slice as a proof of an entire, behavior or moral profile. That's what he's doing. And then he's like, he's begging the question also over here. He's assuming the very conclusion he is supposed to prove first, right? He's like, oh, this is how you were stalking me. But whether such behavior, or this whole thing, amounts to stalking is the very issue in dispute here, right? He's naming the conclusion before he's establishing it. He's not arguing towards stalking. He's starting with stalking and interpreting a screenshot through that assumption. That's what he's doing here. Then he's using a lot of loaded language here, right? Racist, piece of shit, turd, quote abusing, stalking, and all that stuff. And then there's also non sequitur here, right? The conclusion doesn't follow the evidence at all, right? Even if the screenshot is genuine, let's steel man the argument, right? The screenshot is genuine, right? It does not automatically follow that Shala was stalking him in the full sense applied, or she was racist. There's nothing over here that indicates that it was racist, because Shawn says, oh, James Jackson is a white man. How is that racist? He doesn't demonstrate that. And he's trying to go with every prior accusation is alright. Yeah, so we are back. And then he's leaping over multiple missing steps, right? And that leap is the non sequitur here. So he's just reading this screenshot as some sort of like a page in an indictment or something of sorts, when it looks like a fragment of a whole another conversation. That's what it looks like, right? And it requires interpretation, context, and standards, and it actually requires verification in the first place, whether it's a genuine screenshot or a genuine screenshot of a genuine conversation, right? Intrigue Feline from the live chat said, to attempt to track someone down for the purpose of serving them in court, this falls within normal parameters. Yes, and it's being done in private messages. It's not being done publicly. That's also another thing. And Intrigue Feline continues, particularly when someone attempts to not be found. We know that. Yes, they are guilty of doing that. Not guilty, I shouldn't say guilty, but yeah, they have tried to avoid court. And courts don't like that. Then Intrigue Feline has said, again, tracking someone down for the purpose of service cannot be considered stalking or anything malicious. No, it's not. And Athens from the live chat said, Shawn always makes it a racism thing. Yeah, it's always his thing for some reason, even when it's not there. And so that's a presupposition fallacy. Yes, you're right, Athens. And then also fallacy of composition, false attribution to. Yeah. See, that's why I wanted you guys to be there, because you're going to help me out in this, right? So that Shawn does what this whole crowd always does, right? He posts a screenshot and then he pre-interprets it for the audience in the most inflammatory way as possible. You know, he's not saying that here's a screenshot and here is my interpretation. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that this is how you were stalking me, and he calls a racist, says cops already have it, and acts like the whole thing is settled somehow, right? It's just a discussion showing around narrowing down an account and trying to figure out, you know, and trying to figure out if it's a sock account or it's a genuine account, so that they can narrow down if if this is a person from Arkansas or whatever, right? So it as Intrigue Feline said, it can be connected to legal service efforts, or conflict, or or some sort of investigation. But Shawn doesn't even stop there, right? He turns it into stalking, racism, total vindication, and moral certainty. That's what he does. And this is just inflation of accusations. That's all it is. Right? And then if I go to the second screenshot, here we go. So here is our beautiful. Beauty is relative, subjective, I guess. So we can see that. Let me just see if I can. Let me just say, notice, blah blah blah. Nope, it's not this one. Where is it? Ah, yeah, there it is. So here is Meghann, right? Meghann says, "Oh, this is so sick. Proof of Kansas." By Kansas, they mean Charlotte. So over here, they're doing two things here, right? They're trying to avoid the court orders by referring to Charlotte as Kansas and dehumanizing her at the same time. And their lifetime order says that they're not supposed to give any fictitious names or any, other names to Charlotte and try to refer to her in some way, but they seem to do not care, and they are hell-bent on violating their restraining orders. Hi, MP, how you doing? Yeah, EMP from the live chat said, Shawn basically turns any attack on his BS persona online into a racist attack. Shawn, I wouldn't give a damn if you were purple, let alone black. You're a turd. At this point, I think so he's diluted the issue too far. Yeah. Athens from the live chat, he also can't understand sarcasm, so remember to use /s when using sarcasm against him. Oh god. I think I personally think he understands it. He refuses to acknowledge it on purpose so he can weaponize it. That's what my opinion is. But, he might be that stupid. Who knows? So yeah, so here is Meghann saying, this is so sick, proof of Kansas or Charlotte looking into our families. Any of you that thinks this is okay is just as bad as that psychopath. Oh, this mental health advocate is sitting here and calling other people psychopath. Brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Then, obviously, Shawn comes back and says, correct, 100% proof she was... So again, certainty, absolute certainty, right? Correct, 100% proof she was digging into her families back then, proof of her stalking and proof of how wrong she is all the effing time. Luckily, her ass is big enough to accommodate that kangaroo coat when it's finally stuck up her bopped, stanking ass. I think that's what I don't know what he's trying to say here. If anyone can explain that to me, I will be grateful. I have no idea what he's trying to explain. And then Meghann says, and guess what? We still not and never going to jail. You sure about that? Meghann seems to be very confident about that. Okay. Sure. And then Shawn comes back and says, yeah, they can give that up. Ain't none of us going to jail. Can't say that for all of them. Also, none of us are giving them any money. Again, can't say that for all of them. Listen, once the money has been awarded by the court, it's been awarded. You owe it to them. Whether you give it to them or not, that's another question. Right? Yeah, After Dark 60. Hi, hello. How are you doing? Funny thing about Shawn's ex-post, only Meghann responds. His ex-followers are obviously tired of his asinine bullshit. Yeah, nobody responds to him. He doesn't even come up in my mentions if he mentions me. So, yeah. Who is supposed to be, you know, afraid of Shawn? Really? Come on. So, I would just say to them, listen, okay, you think you're not going to jail. It's possible you can avoid jail time by not going out of your state forever, right? Because the bench warrant for you might be in another state. Fine. But you know what can happen in the future? Your channels can come under jeopardy. You know, the court can directly go to YouTube and tell them to like just reach your channels because your and your Twitter, you know, and ban your IPs so that you're not able to, you know, form another YouTube channel or another Twitter account. So if you want to go that far, keep going, I guess, because that's the next thing that's gonna happen, my guy. That's what's gonna happen. So yeah, just gonna reheat my coffee. So yeah, there's a little sound in the background. Please ignore it because that's my microwave. Sorry. So yeah. So what they both are doing is they are just mutually reinforcing the same overclaim again and again. That's what they both are doing, right? So the fallacies that are being committed here are like the echo chamber logic. Someone else comes and repeats the same thing without any proof, right? It's like treating a repeated assertion as if repetition itself creates some sort of evidence, right? Your wiki is still broken. Oh my god, EMP. I'm sorry I teased you in the in the Discord because I couldn't help myself. By myself, I just went wee. Shawn will just make another one and continue to ban evade. Yeah, but I think so. I think so. Each time he will make a new one, the effectiveness will be very less. And I think so. If his YouTube channel is gone, and if he gets IP banned, then he won't be able to form a YouTube channel. So yeah, that's another thing. He can try. His previous channel got yeeted. He is violating YouTube terms of service at the moment because he's taken over someone else's channel. That's Veda's channel. Control plus C and then letter V, then control. Oh shit. Oh, I also teased him in the Discord, Hawkskull. How you doing? So yeah, so there's nothing new to add here, right? So they're just like hoping that repetition will create some sort of evidence. Then then there's ad hominem attack, right? They're attacking the person rather than the claim, or rather than proving the claim. Sorry. Like Meghann is calling over here, right? She's calling her a psychopath here, if I may. Sorry. Right? She's calling her a psychopath. That's what she's doing. And then Shawn is piling on all the insults, right, around her ass, and her ass is big enough to accommodate that kangaroo coat. This is ad hominem attack. And then there's also like appeal to ridicule, you know, trying to use mockery or contempt as if it's a sort of refutation when it's not. And then there's equivocation also. You know, they're sliding between different between concepts. They might be related, but they're different concepts, right? They're treating looking into people as if looking into families, and as stalking, or there's some proof of wrongdoing there. And they're treating all of this as if they are all interchangeable when it's not. And then there's false dilemma also, presenting a situation as though there are only two options, and there can't be an option C or an option D, right? what Meghann is trying to do over here is she's saying, like, if you think this is okay, whatever is happening in the screenshot, then you are as bad as a psychopath, right? Or as bad as that psychopath. So that's the only two options there, right? There can't be another option. Like, I'm just saying, how am I supposed to know that this is a genuine screenshot or a genuine message, that it's not been tampered with? There's no way of knowing that. So there's an option C, right? So you either, according to them, either you accept it or you're morally complicit in some way, right? And so what they're trying to do is trying to use emotional synchronization into some sort of evidentiary synchronization, and that's not how it works. So the fallacies over here are echo chamber or repetition as proof, ad hominem, appeal to ridicule, equivocation, false dilemma, right? That's what's happening here. Like, Meghann immediately, like, she's escalating it into, yeah, look, proof that they're looking into our families, when there's only talk about one person there. And then Shawn immediately follows it up with, yeah, that's 100% proof, right? So without any new evidence. So going ahead, and then so Katie is a liar enters the chat. And yeah, if you go to their Twitter profile, you'll see, when we take a break, I'll play a video from Chesh that she made about Katie is a liar and several other, people that, that are around Shawn, Meghann, Erin, and all. They, and how they are questionable, right? He's probably mad tweeting right now. Is he? I don't know. Should I check? Do I want to check? I don't want to check. Maybe I should check. So yeah. Let's have a look. Why not? Why not? EMP network from the live chat. He wouldn't know proof if it was personified and slapped him around. Pish, 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 pish. Oh, God. Okay. You know what? You're actually right. Yes, he is. Oh, God. Oh, God. He is. He is. Okay, you're right. You're right. But we'll talk about that later. It's okay. Going back to my notes again. Alrighty. So here comes in Katie's a liar, and they are quoting Shawn. So as we can see, they're spreading this narrative, this rhetoric, right? These accusations against Sharla. And here's Katie's a liar coming in and doing again that, that repetition as proof, or, the echo chamber fallacy. That's what Katie's a liar is also doing, because again, she hasn't put in anything new, so she's just repeating it, right? So Katie is a liar goes, tell me again that Sharla is the fucking victim. What a freak show con artist piece of shit you are, Sharla. What a disgrace. So you can see doing ad hominem attack, dehumanizing Sharla, attacking her, right? And this is what Sharla is talking about. These people just don't stop, right? These people just don't stop. Yeah, intrigued feline from the live chat. They attempt the strategy of repeating a lie often enough to believe it. Yes, they're trying, but then people like you, Chesh, and I, and our live chat is there, and they're like, "What? You're stupid. That's not how it works." Okay. Sorry. So yeah. So she's using insult, false binary and coordinated dissemination. That's what's going on here, right? This is coordinated dissemination of the same accusation without any proof, without any context. Again, the same fallacies, false dichotomy. Either Charlotte is a victim or she's a villain. She can't be both at the same time, right? Ad hominem, appeal to emotion, narrative laundering, confirmation bias. Her framing is either Charlotte is a true victim, or these screenshots mean that she's a fraud and is therefore disgraced, right? Why aren't you going lower? Is it? No? Should I try cooler? Yeah, I should try cooler. Does that work? Yeah. Okay. So, a person can do questionable or invasive things, right? And they can still be targeted and harmed by others. But that's not even what it is in the screenshot. All we know is Charlotte is, if that's Charlotte, they're probably trying to find information, maybe for legal reasons. But we have no context there. So there's no way of knowing. And we don't even know if that screenshot is, genuine and has not been tampered with, right? There's no way of verifying it. So she's got, the ad hominem attack is she's calling Charlotte a freak show, a con artist, and a disgrace, right? And then appealing to emotion is, going with disgust and contempt, and then moral revulsion. That's what she's doing. And she's turning a narrower fact into a broader social narrative. That's what she's doing here. So that's narrative laundering, right? Right? Is it dichotomy? Is that what it is? And I go with dichotomy? Is that what it is? I do that. Like, oh, so faggots. Oh, God. No, you're not late. We didn't start for long. It's fine. It's fine. You're fine. You're not that late. You're okay. So, that's there's a screenshot. There's what all we know from here is that, yeah, Charlotte is investigating people for some purposes, right? What KIAL is doing, or Katie is a liar is doing, she's going for a broader laundered narrative. Therefore, Charlotte is not a victim. Therefore, she's a con artist. Therefore, sympathy is foolish. This is just classic laundering move, right? There's confirmation bias too, favoring information that supports what you actually believe. I will show you later. I asked Katie is a liar, how did they verify all these, screenshots that they have, and they have no answer. They had no answer. It is a black-white fallacy, yes. Smitty from the live, like a false dichotomy, yeah. So, then, if we go further down, here comes Meghann. She's adding more now. Now she's adding more. Why are you powering off? Right? So, apparently there are more screenshots here, and Meghann is saying that she was tracking down my ex, quote, in brackets, Lily's dad, and then why are you putting your child's name out there? I don't get it. And the second one is her asking for info on my nursing license. I have so many more like these two, but yet so many want to think she's the victim. Now again, I want to know how am I supposed to believe that these are genuine screenshots? Yeah, I need a new headset. Okay, I need a new headset. Whatever. I'll get a new headset. I get it. Hopefully it's not peaking. Is it peaking? Hopefully it's not peaking into your brain. Yeah, that's another count of contempt for Meghann. It's already there for Shawn. Yeah, it's another for Meghann. So there's another screenshot here, right? And Meghann is making the claims of what is there in the screenshot. The screenshot says apparently this is a Charlotte account. Now we have no way of knowing if this is a genuine account or not. right? How do we know that this is a genuine screenshot? And looks like it's been edited. There's some sort of editing done here. Look at this. So this, I don't believe the screenshot before, because this, what is this? It's out of line here. So why should I believe this screenshot? This has already been tampered with. So I'm not going to consider this at all. So I don't know if the other screenshot here presented is also genuine or not. How am I supposed to know that? I can already see one is tampered with. How do I know this one is genuine? How am I supposed to verify this? Right? And then, again, Katie is a liar and comes in and say, can I screenshot and retweet it? And Meghann gives her the permission to do it. So there's coordination here and there's narrative deployment. And that this tells us that Katie is not interested in truth testing. She is just interested in spreading a narrative. That's all it is. Yeah, the font is also sus. In my opinion, in the second picture, if you go here, if I bring it down here, it changes. This one, in my opinion, is different from this one. Like the blue one is different from the gray one, in my opinion. I might be wrong. But I cannot believe it because the very first one that she shows is tampered with here. So I don't even know if this is Charlotte's account or if it's someone impersonating as Charlotte, because you can have any screen name on Twitter or anywhere. And then you can just text anyone you want. So how do I know it's just not a sock account with the name Charlotte who's just sending out random messages like this? How do I know this is not blonde one pretending to be Charlotte? Right? Sorry. Simple. And then Katie's a liar coming in and is trying to like spread the narrative without verifying it, without checking it. EMP network from the live chat. My educated guess, and it is a guess, not knowledge, but if anyone was impersonating Charla, two people come in mind, Erin or blonde one, aka just saying again. Yeah. So what am I supposed to do with this? The KIAL or Katie is a liar is committing a classic false binary here, right? She wants the audience to think that if these screenshots show Charlotte doing anything invasive, then she cannot possibly be a victim of anything else. So they're coordinating screenshots, they're not corroborating anything. This is just sympathy control. There's no evidence review here. And there's no way of knowing, as I said, with whatever's tampered here, and there's no way of knowing whether these screenshots are genuine or not. Where they got it from, how they got it, how did they verify that it's a genuine message, or if it's someone, pretending to be Charla. There's no way of knowing. So yeah. Intrigue feline from the live chat. I do not want to be uncharitable. However, at this point, I simply cannot put it past them to do this. Yeah. Fair. Right? If you look at Meghan's screenshots also, right? They don't automatically prove that there's stalking going on, or there's doxing going on, or there's some sort of fraud going on, or that Charla is not their victim, or that every accusation they have ever made is true. Every accusation stands on its own merit and its own evidence, right? So again, what Meghann is also trying to do here is hasty generalization. right? And going for equivocation, trying to blur information seeking investigation as, harassment or stalking or doxing. Creating a false dichotomy here that if Charlotte did these things, she cannot be a victim. Again, that's what Meghann is also trying to do. Again, it's that echo chamber, right? Repeating the same narrative, the same, claim again and again. There's no way of establishing that this is some sort of legal stalking or public doxing. These are messages. These look like messages, and there's only fraudulent use of court, and they do not at all invalidate her status as a victim. It might be that, yeah, Charlotte is looking into people for some purposes. What that purpose is, we don't know. So yeah, just fucking useless. Just trying to, just create trouble and more problems. And at this point, I think so. I'm not going to be surprised if the court just goes straight off after their Twitter accounts and their channels. We know Megan's channel is already, demonetized. She doesn't have ads on them. She doesn't have memberships anymore. That's why she's streaming on Shawn's channel at the moment. EMP network from the live chat. Peeps should remind themselves, aside from Shawn's barking mad rants, I played the fool like Play-Doh. Then after I explained in detail what I did, he then tried to claim victory. Oh yeah, he does that all the time. He's a jobless, unemployable bum with no one to have in person as a friend or significant other. He projects a lot of that onto other people. Okay, so if we are adults like for 5 minutes, right? The screenshots, okay. If we steel man it, okay, they might appear with Charlotte digging into people connected to a dispute. She was trying to find things out. She was trying to get in touch with someone. She was asking for information, yada yada yada, right? About a nursing license. I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't show anything, but it's tampered with. So all that just goes into a bin at this point. Right? The problem is that the crowd is not making these narrow claims that are definitely can be said, yeah, that's happening. They're going for a broader narrative, right? So that's what's happening here. But again, these screenshots can be dismissed because they have been tampered with. We can see that there. After dark from the live chat, her channel is actually supposed to be gone according to the court papers. Really? Is that why she changed the channel name? Because she tried to escape like the court trying to like delete her channel? Did she change her channel name and changed it back when she realized it does not work like that anymore on YouTube? Every channel has a specific ID that doesn't change even if you change your channel name. Is that why she changed her channel name? Because she doesn't know how YouTube works and thought she could like escape her channel getting deleted. Instead her channel got demonetized. Uh-huh. Damn. Alright. So going on to the next one. Oh, look who it is! Intrigued! Yay! We have the wonderful Intrigue. Right? So, what I'm gonna do is actually, let's see. Okay, I see. So this is Katie is a liar, like over here saying, oh, this is who you claim is the victim, LMAO. Charlotte has proven again to stalk, dig up private people's information, go to dox them and their families. Yeah, you can go suck Charlotte's dick some more. So, again, just making random claims, right? Going for a broader narrative. Trying to repeat stuff and again, with like this false dichotomy. There's a public doxing, these are private messages, if we go with what is there in the screenshots. So there's nothing about doxing there. And it's not digging up people's info, she's asking about one person. And there, you can say there are multiple people she might be looking after because there's so many people that have restraining orders against them now. So yeah, obviously she's looking into a lot of people. And what do you mean by private people? All of them have channels here. Oh, actually YouTube received court order to remove a channel. Really? Can we verify that? That would be awesome to verify, if we could verify that. Yeah, Athens from the live chat. If she actually believed the code was an actual kangaroo code, she wouldn't have changed the name, so someone is folding, right? By the way, oh, what did you give us? Let's have a look. Oh, stalking. Stalking is recklessly engaging in a course of conduct targeted at a specific person, which would cause a reasonable person in the circumstances of the targeted person to fear for such person's safety or the safety of a member of such person's immediate family, and the targeted person is actually placed in such fear. Engaging in a course of conduct targeted at a specific person with knowledge that the course of conduct will place the targeted person in fear of such person's safety and immediate family. After being served with or otherwise provided with a notice of any protective order, including the KSA prior to its appeal or KSA blah blah blah, the amendments thereto that prohibits contact with a targeted person recklessly engaging in at least one act listed in section F of 1 that violates the provisions of the order and would cause a reasonable person to fear their person's safety or safety of a member of such person's immediate family, and targeted person is actually placed in such fear or intentionally engaging in a course of conduct targeted at a specific child under the age of 14. Okay, so that's for children. This F, right? Course of conduct means 2 or more acts over a period of time, however short, which evidence a continuity of purpose. I think so there is more than two acts over here over a period of time, right? It's been 3 years now and they're still going. They're still going. So yeah. I need to find this one. Hold on. I want to see this one. Give me a sec. Da, da, da. No, not this one. Hold on. Let me just check my notes. See, this is intrigued. Just give me a sec. Just oh yeah, this is the one here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is the one. So yeah, again, over here. So if I go back to my notes, sorry guys. Yeah, there are readings that that Chesh posted for each of them. If that order, if that order that you have is a public order, then if you can tell me where I can access it, that would be better than you DMing me, because I don't want to get my hands on something that is not allowed by the courts. How about that? Yeah. So just don't send me anything that's not allowed by courts. I don't want to put you in trouble or anyone in some trouble. I don't want that. But if it can be found out publicly anywhere, if you can let me know, I will get my hands on it. So yeah. So over here, so what Katie is doing is, again, reposting the same stuff that Meghann did, again, repeating the narrative, right? And then no way to verify whether these screenshots are, you know, correct or not. And, you know, and then saying saying to intrigued feline, oh, this is who you claim is the victim, LMAO. Charlotte has been proven to stalk, dig up private people's info. There's nothing proven here. We cannot verify these screenshots, number one. There's no way of knowing where these screenshots came from. And it's just assertions, that's all they are. It's just bare assertion. And all this is here is just, you know, just repeating those assertions. That's what's happening here. Right? So yeah, going back to my previous notes, where they are. Okay, here we go. There we go. Yeah. So if we go in, right? So again, Katie's a lawyer. She's making this person is making an assertion here that Charlotte does in fact abuse the legal system. A hell lot of people agree with this. Only people who have restraining orders against them agree with this, right? And that's very convenient, if I might dare say. And all of you are co-conspirators to that abuse. Just using, like, you know, emotionally loaded language over here. Hell, someone who was a witness was told she was unfit to testify at LMAO. You're all harassing and gang stalking Erin. So you can shove the shit right up your fat ass and choke on it. So again, it's like if Erin talks about it, she's defending herself. But if we talk about it, we are gang stalking Erin. Right? If we are correcting the narrative, we are gang stalking Erin. But if Erin talks about it, she's defending herself, not repeating false claims against Charlotte and harassing Charlotte. Right? Sent me a screenshot. Let me just double check. Where did you send it on? Did you send it on Twitter? Or is it somewhere else? Jack in the Discord server. What the hell was that? Yeah, there's no evidence that you know. I asked Katie is a liar. I'm like, can you present evidence that, you know, where was it said? Where would the judge say that she was unfit to testify? Right? There's no evidence of that, and they're just thinking that if they repeat an assertion, it will somehow become evidence. And that's not how it works. Like, how pathetic are you to do that? Like, how desperate are you to repeat all that shit without any evidence? Like, bitchmade? Hashtag bitchmade everyone in the live chat if I can have that. Please. So ridiculous. Right? So yeah, and that's what Katie's a liar doing. As soon as someone questions them on their first claim or their first narrative, they jump and they shift goalposts, or they sweep in another claim, then another claim, then another claim, without presenting any evidence for it, right? I know where it came from Volt's ass. Oh god. Yeah, there's no citation or transcript to prove that was even said. So the claim that Chesh was unfit is dismissed unless proven otherwise, so shut the fuck up. You know, you would think that they would know not to repeat claims without any evidence, but here we are. Yeah, or when they try to present something as evidence, it's frigging nothing. We just saw here, right? The screenshots they're presenting. We already saw one of them has been tampered with, so I don't know what the rest are, and we have no way of verifying them. We have no way of verifying the screenshots. Where did they get them from? How did they get Charla's screenshots? How did Katie's a liar get Charla's screenshots? Messages. And how did Meghann get those messages? Like, how do we know that that's not a sock account pretending to be Charla? That's why you get a lawyer and you shut the fuck up, so you don't commit these mistakes and contempt. But these people don't get it. They just don't get it. Oh my god. So, yeah, so Intrigue Feline, they quote Katie's a liar and they say, "It is determined by the court in Kansas that she is the victim, not by me. I have no say over that. Further, under the Kansas law, KSA, stalking, KSA 215427, stalking requires specific details beyond what is being alleged and provided." Right? And then Intrigue Feline goes on. Further, courts are very familiar with the retaliatory counter-allegations, reverse victim narratives like Darvo, and attempts to falsify, justify violations of protective orders. In particular, you're making claims without having any idea what standard is actually required. So far, to me, it seems part of gathering information in part for the court, but also part to prepare for service. You may not agree with it or see it as too charitable view of the situation. However, that is likely how the court would approach this as. So far, Erin and co. are repeatedly shown in contempt of court, ignoring court orders, and keeps going on with the same conduct that got them restraining orders in the first place. You're aiding and abetting that. You would be wise to drop it yourself as well. And then Katie's a liar. Again, Katie's a liar. They drag in another assertion, right? Or another accusation. And they go with this. Some of Charlotte's doxing behaviors for you. You can continue to be blinded by your obvious disdain for all things Erin, but the fact that Charla is the problem as well as the rest of you who are the real aiders and abettors. You all should be ashamed of yourselves. So Katie's a liar's response is, no you. That's what it is. Right? So over here, if you see, like, where is it? Sorry, my bad. I lost it. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. This is ridiculous. Segment 3. Yeah, okay. Sorry, my bad. Oh yeah, there it is. Put it here. Go here. Yeah, so here we are. So this is the screenshot I wanted to talk about first. So we saw that, you know, she said here, you know, can shove it right up your arse, right? And making claims that, yeah, Charlotte does abuse the legal system and yada, yada, yada. So Rhetoric Feline quotes them and says, right, that... Oh, what happened here? Here we go. Not enough caffeine in the world to keep me focused. Sorry, my guy. Yeah, her viewpoint has already been dismantled. I'm just showing, like, how far this person is going to repeat, you know, the bad narrative again and again, right? So Rhetoric Feline comes back and says, so rather than making an attempt at the merits, you are just slinging insults. Not that there would be anything to discuss, as there are clear orders by the court that must be complied with, right? Hello, Victoria Macarius. Is that the correct way to pronounce it? Right? And then here it is, right? This is who you claim is the victim, quote unquote, as if that is under any question. Sharla is a victim, right? So LMAO, Sharla has been proven again to stalk, so that's an assertion here. Dig up private people's info and then go to dox them and their families. Yeah, you can go suck Sharla's dick some more. So again, ad hominem attack over here, right? So profanity, as I said at the start, I will prove that Katie is a liar, is very vitriolic and use a lot of profanity, right? They're very certain in their claims and they overclaim a lot, right? Again, begging the question, right? Proven again to stalk. Really? And dox. Proven to stalk and dig up private people's info and go to dox them and their families. Really? Where? These are private messages. This is nothing public. Right? Then hasty generalization. These are selected screenshots, and over here we just saw that they're tampered with. So we don't even know if they're genuine screenshots. And from there, it just went with, oh, here Sharla is inquiring about specific people, and Katie's a liar jumped to doxing families, right? And broad moral condemnation. And then you know, ad hominem, go suck, you know, Sharla's dick some more. Appealing to ridicule, and then non sequitur, right? Even if the screenshots are genuine, it does not automatically that for Sharla is dox families or is not a victim or deserves the you know, every larger accusation being made against her. That's not how it works. Rhetoric Feline asked for proof, and Katie is a liar. All Katie is a liar had was profanity. That's it. This is not me language policing or policing her, you know, language or anything like that. This is me saying that she doesn't have anything else except profanity. Right? And profanities are not arguments. Right? And that's what happens when your conclusion is emotionally overdeveloped and is evidentially, like, underfed. That's how you just come back with profanities and emotional outbursts. Rhetoric Feline from the live chat, they have no clue what each accusation entails and needs as foundation for it to be even remotely considered. All shown so far is simply not indicative of any of their accusations at all. Yeah, true. It is a nothing burger. Smitty from the live chat, profanity should be sprinkled over a substantive take, like sentence enhancers, increases the spiciness. Yeah. Yeah, Jessica Johnson, this is purity testing, right? If you're not a perfect victim, you can't be a victim. In that case, is Erin a victim of someone? can she be a victim of someone? Because she's not perfect, right? So it's like they don't get it, that the road goes both ways, right? Let me double check my screenshots. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. My screenshots are not aligned properly for some reason. Come here, let's go. Ta-da. Here we go. So, how long has it been since we have been live? Let me check. What if we take a break? Just a quick break. Give me a sec. Let me just double check. How long we have been live for? My bad. Sorry. Has it been an hour? Yeah, it's been more than an hour. So I guess what we could do is 1 hour, 10, 20 minutes. Okay. So we could take a let me just cover this one and then we can take a break. Right? And then go from there. 81 minutes. Yeah, that's 1 hour, 21 minutes. Sorry, let me just stretch a bit. Stretchy time. Ah, my back. Ow, my back. Ed's Mara, good night. Aww. Going to sleep. Okay, nighty night. So yeah. Then Katie is a liar. They make another tweet. And they're going with, what a troll. Charla does in fact abuse the legal system. Again, certainty. Over certainty. Right? And then begging the question. Right? And then adds another, qualifier. A lot of people agree with this. It's very convenient that, Charla, people who have lifetime restraining orders agree with it. Right? And all of you are conspirators to that abuse. Hell, someone was a witness and was told she was unfit to testify. LMAO. Blah, 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 blah. So this is the one, right? So, again, assertion, stacking, again, there's a psychiatric smearing also. Agreement is not evidence. That's ad populum fallacy. Apparently, courts didn't agree. Or don't agree. Or you have not been able to prove to the courts that. Right? So, bandwagon fallacy, or you can say ad populum fallacy. Right? A lot of people agree, so therefore it's proof. That's not how it works. Right? If that were how it was, there are more people who actually believe that, that these people are harassers and stalkers and have harassed Charla. So if there are more people who believe that, then does it work that way? No, it doesn't. The courts have deemed it and adjudicated as such. Also, what kindergarten kids are cussing as they make arguments? You can cuss if you want to, but like, Smitty said, it's an enhancer. It's something to add on to, not to use as an argument or proof. It's after the fact, on top of the argument and proof, that you use it, or can use it if you want to. Yeah, Athens from the live chat. What is the saying again? That which doesn't have evidence can be dismissed without evidence. I don't remember the quote fully. Oh god. I think Saint Treat Feline will be able to help us quote that. Right? And then again, bare assertion. Shala does in fact abuse the legal system. That as I said, that is a conclusion, not a demonstration, not a demonstrated argument. And then there's conspiracy inflation going on here, treating association or common cause as proof of coordinated wrongdoing. Right? People calling you out that you don't have proof or you have no way of verifying your claims, or no one has a way of verifying your claims, doesn't mean that they're co-conspirators in something. They're just regular people on the street asking you questions. Right? That's a serious escalation, actually. But KIAL doesn't demonstrate any structure, intent, or any, coordinated wrongdoing necessary to support that label. Nothing. Hitchens the razor. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yuhan Cognac. Which country, ma'am, you? Who are you asking? Me? I am born in India, citizen of New Zealand, now living in Australia, so. Victoria from the live chat, we did that a lot in kindergarten. It was lots of fun, but we were also aware that it didn't really make arguments stronger, just spicier. Yeah. There's a lot of pathologizing also. Right? I think so. There's another screenshot here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. There was one here. Okay. We'll find it later. Nope. Okay. No worries. We'll talk about that later. Hold on. If this is the one. Oh yeah. So this one, like over here, saying you're all harassing and gang stalking Erin, right? Again, as I said before, this is all self-sealing narrative. That's what this one is here. Erin's attacks become self-defense and replies to Erin become harassment or gang stalking, right? This is trying to create a moral system in which Erin is exonerated by definition and opponents are condemned by definition, right? That's not how it works. Then I can't tell you whether it's dinner or not, or else you'll know where I live. So sorry, you're not gonna know. I'm drinking coffee. Maybe you can try and guess from that. Intrigue feline from the live chat. Maanyaa, full quote is, what can be asserted without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence. Gotcha. Jessica Johnson, are you asking Maanyaa out? I think so. He's asking if it's dinner time or not. Okay, next. So this is all up. I definitely need a new headset. This one's gone. It just keeps shutting off for some reason on its own. I need a new one. Intrigue feline was right. Yeah, pizza for breakfast. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. So the next one is 6 and 7 screenshot. Let's see. Aha! Now we are talking. There we go. 6 and 7, is it? Don't mind, that's my kettle going off. I have a desk mic, but I like to move around a lot. Maybe since I have my coffee set up here now near me, I'll get a desk mic. I think so that will be better. My coffee, sorry, I'm out of it. It's in here. Here. It's in here. Need more coffee. I'm drinking coffee. You also have a HyperX headset. Yeah, this is a HyperX. If I can show you. Yeah, I'll get a wired one. I'll get a wired one. Okay. Stop. Bear with me. You're stuck with me now. Okay. So intrigue feline over here goes ahead and then, introduces standards, right? Which these people don't seem to have. Your coffee at the monitor so we can all have a sip. Here. Sorry, it's all... Here. Look, Pikachu giving you coffee. Pika pika. Okay. So intrigue feline is saying, the courts, it is determined by the courts in Kansas that, she, meaning Charlotte, is the victim. Not by me, not by anyone else. I have no say over that. Further, under the Kansas law KSA 215427, stalking requires specific details beyond what is being alleged and provided. So then intrigue feline goes, further, courts are very familiar with retaliatory counter-allegations. I think so I read all this. Yeah. And then some of Charlotte's doxing. Here they come again. Right? So Katie is a liar. Again, presents another claimant. Right? We have dismissed the previous ones. So Katie is a liar knows that the previous ones are gone. Can't be substantiated. So brings in another one. So this time it's some of Charlotte's doxing behaviors for you. You can continue to be blinded by your obvious disdain for all things Erin, but the facts are that Charlotte is the problem, as well as the rest of you who are the real aiders and abettors. You all should be ashamed of yourselves. Now it appears to be there's an email here, and then there's a couple of tweets which appear to be from Charlotte, right? And then Katie's a liar continues. You all continue to use a clearly unstable, mentally unwell person to harass Erin, which is clearly weird. So what feline is trying to do here is what they're trying to say is that, statutory elements matter, and the courts, they assess evidence, and public claims do not satisfy, elements. And if there are any merits, they belong to proper forum. To which Katie's a liar is like, really? Where is it? This one? God dang it. Maanyaa. You lost it again! No! Hold on. Not this one. So yeah, so over here, Katie is a liar saying, I have nothing to do with quotes. Right? Okay. So again, it's like over here, Katie is a liar saying, like, again, these are more of Charlotte's doxing behaviors for you. Previous one were dismissed, so I don't know what you mean by more. Yep. And to say that you can continue to be blinded by your obvious disdain for all things Erin, but the facts are that Charlotte is the problem. How is Charlotte is the problem when she's the one who's the victim? How? These are just tweets. These are public tweets. And then anyone who questions your narrative, you accuse them of, again, making, assertions here that, that they are using Charlotte. You're taking agency away from Charlotte by saying that Charlotte cannot decide for herself. Mentally unwell people can be responsible for themselves. So you're trying to take away agency from Charlotte. If you're taking away agency for Charlotte, then why are you blaming Charlotte in all this? I don't get it. Why are you then highlighting these Charlotte's doxing behaviors according to you? You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? Okay. So, yeah. And then I came in. I was like, you're continuing to harass Sharla on behalf of Erin. Erin can talk for herself. Why the fuck are you talking about for Erin? Erin is here on Twitter. She hasn't got her own channel. Sharla is actually the one who doesn't have a Twitter. She has a Twitter, but she doesn't use it much because then she get harassed, by people like Katie's a liar and Maanyaa Nova and all that stuff, and all those people. So Sharla is not here, and she doesn't have a YouTube channel. Erin can speak for herself. What the fuck you doing here? Why are you harassing Sharla on behalf of Erin? And then Katie is a liar comes back and says, you continue to harass Erin. You're participating in the continued harassment and gang stalking of Erin. And then I'm like, and I came back and said, Erin tries to relitigate her case on social media and re-victimize Sharla, and we correct the narrative. Sharla is not the one with the restraining order. Erin is. Your narrative is the problem. I'll solve it. You and others are participating in the continuing harassment of Erin. I'll keep pointing that out to you. The thing is that by doing that, you're re-victimizing Sharla. And that's what I said. I'm like, you can point out whatever your opinion is, but why are you dragging Sharla into this, and why spread unverified information about her? And then Katie is a liar makes it clear. Sharla is the reason. She has weaponized and abused the legal system. That's a very big claim to make. But whatever you have produced so far is that Sharla has successfully gotten restraining orders against her, harassers. How is that abusing legal system? I don't get it. Yeah, Jessica Johnson from the live chat. Every accusation that they make of Sharla is a confession. They project so much onto her. Yeah. And again, Katie is a liar goes again. You're using a mentally unwell person, an unstable person for your own personal vendetta. I'll keep pointing that shit out. You can bet on that. Again, taking agency away from Sharla. Right? As if Sharla doesn't know what to do. As if because Sharla has mental well-being issues, she cannot make decisions for herself, or she cannot be responsible for herself. What? So yeah. Sorry. Yeah, they also claimed that Sharla was friends with the judge. They will lie about everything. Yeah, that it's like they just make these like claims that Chesh was deemed unfit to be a witness. There's no proof of that. Like Sharla was friends with the judge. There's no proof of that. They will just say this thing and then they're like surprised, their Pikachu face when people are asking like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Right? And they're like, "Oh, you're gang stalking and harassing me, dude. You made claims. We're asking you for proof." You have proof? Then you should probably shut the fuck up. Yeah, and which judge? There have been two by the sounds of it, yeah, from what we know so far. Yeah, and the judges agree with one another. I don't get it. RNGD from the live chat said, case in point, they say I was threatening to hack people but never provided a screenshot. Probably because it never happened, but it wasn't me. It was Veda, and we have video of that. Yeah, Veda said that I'll hack you and I will make you doubt your, whatever, existence or identity and blah 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 blah. RNGD explained that hacking is not that simple. That's what he did. That doesn't mean that he threatened to hack people. Veda was the one threatening to hack people and explained how she would do it. So yeah. So the know you argument doesn't work. And completely ignoring the legal elements, right? And the fact that the courts, they assess evidence, not public claims. And that's what the problem is. Instead of letting the courts handle it out, the excuse they're using is that that Charla is abusing the courts, so the courts don't matter. Only what is being said on public platforms should matter, which is very convenient again, isn't it? Charla is actually deep state. Oh my god. God. And then Intrigue Feline goes, hold on, let me just double check. This one is 8 and 9. Yeah, okay. So, my notes are all over the place. Okay, no worries. Okay, so Intrigue Feline quotes, Katie is a liar and says, again, what has been posted do not prima facie, right? Satisfy the statutory elements of the accusations made, nor any other unlawful conduct. There are specific legal criteria or elements evidentiary standard that are assessed by the court. Again, evidence, standard, right? As I said before. And then Intrigue Feline goes on. If there were any merit to those claims, they would be raised in the appropriate legal forum. To my knowledge, they have not been advanced in the proceedings. By contrast, multiple restraining orders were issued following judicial review, and multiple findings of contempt have been entered in the record. Those determinations reflect the court's evaluation of the evidence presented. Moreover, much of the underlying matter is not public record. Those not party to the case should not have access to procedural or evidentiary content. The only proper and appropriate venue this belongs is with the court. The continued public assertions do not alter the judicial findings and, depending on their nature, can themselves carry legal implications. So Katie's a liar, like, well, they're here. How did they get here, Katie? How did you get them? Where did they come from? So there. If we believe that the screenshots that are that Katie's a liar is sharing are genuine, right? So it looks like someone is sharing discovery material with Katie's a liar, and they're not supposed to do that. I wonder who it is. Is it Meghann? We saw Meghann posting, and then Katie's a liar asking if they can retweet that. And if I'm not wrong, Erin also offered Katie's a liar, offered to DM her something. So are you getting things which are part of discovery from Erin or Meghann or Shawn? If we are to believe these screenshots are, genuine, then you're all coordinating to dogpile on Charla publicly and harass her publicly, and you're again in contempt of court because these things should not be getting out of discovery. Or these are tampered with and these are not, these are not genuine screenshots. They have been cooked up. Which one is it? Because the way you are just trying to, brush it under the carpet, well, they're here. How did they get here? Right? What did I say? What did I say wrong? It is not how wrong you said it, but I would have said it differently. British English versus Indian English, I suppose. These are not authentic. There's the way to phrase it. Authentic. Yeah, authentic. Got it. Thanks, Intrigued Feline. I was looking for that word. It was at the back of my head, and I couldn't find it. Thanks, Feline. Authentic. So what's going on? Either someone's sharing discovery material with you, if these screenshots are genuine, right? Or these are cooked up. Which one is it? And if this is discovery material being shared with you, they're not supposed to do that. So yeah, which is it? I will say these are not authentic. That's what I believe, personally. Because we saw one of the screenshots that it was tampered with. There was something going on with the text there. It was out of line. So yeah. So Katie's a liar continues to say, well, they're here. I have nothing to do with the quotes. So the people who have something to do with the quotes are giving you these screenshots? Is that what you're trying to say? But then she brings it up again and says, you seem to be skipping the part, you seem to skim the parts where your girl Sharla has been engaging in doxing of people and their families. Where? Though if we are to see those screenshots, those are private messages. There's nothing public there. So what are you talking about? And again, previously you said it was doxing, now you're saying engaging in doxing. What do you mean by that? No, you didn't skim them. Because you said that it looks like someone's looking for basic information to be able to serve someone, right? For legal purposes. Yeah. Skimp? You seem to skim the parts. Skim over, I think so. That's what they meant. Skim over the part. Or skip over the parts. I think so. So it's like there's no doxing going on. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't know what doxing is. This is not doxing. And also that tweet there. Hold on, let me just see if I can bring it up. Let me see. Where is it? Let's see. Where did it go? Where did you go? Where's that one where there were two? Here? Is it here? Is it here? Oh. Let's see. Yep, this one's gone. This one's gone. Yeah, so this one here, right? Where it says... sum of more, this one, right? The sum of more Sharla's doxing behavior for you, right? Sharla seems to be mentioning someone here, right? Misses some misses. My question is, number one, again, how do we know that this screenshot is not tampered with? It's an original one, right? Number two, putting a surname out is not doxing. That's not doxing at all. According to your friend Erin, that's not doxing. So yeah, you might want to go and talk to Erin about it. And actually, according to Erin, everyone dox everyone. You know, everyone doxes. We know that. Erin has said that. So what the fuck is your problem? Right? But to say putting out a surname is not doxing. Doxing involves a lot of elements. That's just a standalone tweet. And we don't even know who she's talking about here. I don't know who Kim is. Or good Kim is. Or bad Kim is. I have no fucking clue. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows. So yeah, you don't even know what fucking doxing is. So yeah, so it's like, dude, you're trying, but it's not working. Oh, God. Alright, where were we? Yeah. So I came in and I said, you know, so they said, it's a real pity that you seem to gloss right over that. That tells me everything I need to know. Again, hasty generalization. Right? You know, you want, like, Katie's a lawyer, wants authority of legal language, but doesn't want the burden of the legal standards. That's what's happening here, right? So this is all just a sham, a performance. That's all it is. And then Katie's a liar continued. Your continued harassment and stalking of Erin is a problem. You're aiding and abetting in the continued harassment of Erin. I think some inflection of your behavior should be considered. It's totally like, know you. That's all this is. Know you. Not the fact that if Erin has a restraining order, that's the court system being abused, right? Conveniently. And if anyone questions Erin's behavior, you're harassing Erin. How very convenient, isn't it? That how conveniently everything has fallen into place like that. And I came in and I said, listen, that email does not sound like Charlotte at all. I read that screenshot, right? This one here. And I said that does not sound like Charlotte at all. And I think someone is trolling you, KIAL, and using you to spread misinformation. I'm being charitable here. Yeah, public posts on Facebook are public, or you're not doxing. So yeah, if your name is on Facebook and someone finds out, it's not doxing, I'm afraid. And also, doxing has to be malicious. I don't see any malicious intent over there. That's just them, you know, ridiculing you. You don't like that? That's okay. That's your problem, I guess. No, putting someone's name out, and that to like their last name out, is not necessarily doxing. No, it's not. Yeah, according to Erin, people like, you know, people dox all the time, so it shouldn't be an issue. So I don't know what, you know. So yeah, and then Katie's a liar comes back and say, doesn't sound like her? Oh my fucking god, you know you should read that back to yourself. Shockingly ridiculous. So they're trying to use ridicule here to dismiss me, right? Whereas I was being charitable too. Katie is a liar. I've been very respectful to her for this part. I'm just like, come on. And then I asked the question. I'm like, how did you verify that email is from Charla and not someone impersonating her? And then Katie's a liar is like incredulous, like, you cannot be serious, Mayo. I actually thought that you were smarter than that, for fuck's sake. Like, as if, you know, that is some sort of argument. That's not an argument, that's just ad hominem attack. You know, calling me Mayo, or, you know, attacking my intelligence or something like that. That's not an argument. And then Meghann comes in and says, I know, right? They know that that is very real. They are the only ones that created fake stuff. Oh, now it's like, no, you. We just saw, right, that what Meghann posted was tampered with. But we are the ones who create fake stuff. Gotcha. Of course, Meghann, right? This one is tampered here, right? Over here. But we are the ones who make fake stuff. And I'm not saying it's fake. I'm asking a simple question. I'm asking how did you verify it? Just asserting that it's real doesn't make it real. That's not how it works. And then Katie's a liar comes in and says, I know these people are frauds. Like, dude, how much are you gonna go with know you and try to, like, you know, reflect it or, you know, or project it onto others? This is not an argument, nor a proof of verification. Athens from the live chat. Erin posts where she works on her Facebook. She's doxing herself. That's, yeah. Spectrum Spoonies. I don't know who KIAL is, but it definitely seems like they are being used to further harass. Shaking. Harass someone. SM. Sorry. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, but I kind of think like Katie's a liar likes to like stir shit and watch back and sit back and watch, you know, everything burn to the ground. They do it for entertainment reasons, in my opinion. But I can be wrong. But in this thread, I was being very charitable to them. I was like, I think that someone is giving you misinformation. Just by asserting that something is real or is authentic doesn't mean it's authentic. Right? So that's not how it works. You know what we are gonna do is we're gonna take a break. I need a break. And then we will go from there. We still have a lot to go, so I'm actually surprised that we're going this long. Am I going too slow? I need to improve. I made my notes quite hastily, if I might say. And because of that, they're all jumbled up. Yeah. So yeah, let's take a break. And, you know, while we take a break, what we're gonna do is we're gonna play something. What we're gonna do is, let's see. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. I wanna go in the videos and then. Is it part of that? Here we go. I think so. It should be in here somewhere. Let's see. Nope. Where did you go? Where did you go, my lovely? I wanna know. Where did you go? Yeah. I'll give you something to listen to. I promise. I'll do that. Give me a sec. I'm on it. Looking at. Where is it? I should have found it before I started the fucking stream. Sorry, my bad. Excuse my French. In my defense, I decided when I was at work that I wanted to stream today, so. You're stuck with me! You're stuck with me, all of you. Okay, where are you? I don't remember. Is it this one? No. Not that far back. No. I'm saying if you're giving me something to listen, I'm not asking you to give me something to listen to, lol. Oh, okay. My bad. I walk a lonely road. I walk alone. I walk alone. I walk alone. I walk alone. Yeah, I was looking for that one, but I can't find it. God dang it. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. God. दीवाना मुझसे नहीं इस अंबर के नीचे आगे है कातिल मेरा और मैं पीछे पीछे You know what? Actually, what we're gonna do is, hold on. I know what to do. There we go. You will love these. Come on. There we go. That and that. And I will be back. That amount of information, RNGD. It really amazes me the amount of information people post publicly about themselves on socials. No, actually, I'm not. People are dumb. Yeah. If you don't want... Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I hum sometimes when I'm looking for stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put this on, and I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. Maybe 5-10 minute break, if that's okay. And I'll be back, and, yeah, just give me a minute, guys. And then I'll make a fresh cup of coffee and everything. Hopefully this plays for you properly. Okay, let's see.
I had the nerve to ask me that. Bitch, you know I was never gonna do that. Ever. Like, I would rather go to jail.
In the District Court of Crowley-Winfield, Kansas, filed pursuant to KSA Chapter 60, Charla versus Mary Broussard, respondent, order of contempt. Now on this 3rd day of October 2025, the above-captioned matter comes on for trial on petitioner's motion for contempt and motion to extend protection order for 1 to 3 years. The Honorable Richard presiding. Petitioner appears in person and pro se. Respondent appears via Zoom and pro se. Thereupon, the court finds that petitioner filed a motion for finding of indirect contempt of court pursuant of KSA 20-1204A. That said motion included the statutorily required affidavit and ordered directing respondent to appear and show cause as to why she should not be held in contempt, and thereupon the court finds that this matter is properly before the court, that it has jurisdiction over both parties, and that both parties appear before the court on October 3rd, 2025, at which time the respondent stipulated to the allegations of contempt in petitioner's affidavit, and it appearing to the satisfaction of the court that based upon the verified affidavit of petitioner and stipulation of the respondent, and the respondent should be found in contempt of the protection from stalking final order entered herein on May 7th, 2024, for failing to, quote, immediately cease and desist all activity on YouTube, Facebook, with YouTube, or other media platforms, whether by herself or through third parties that mentions or involves plaintiff in any manner, end quote, and for additional statements made or actions taken through YouTube and other social media formats which were knowingly and intentionally directed at petitioner, causing her reasonable fear for her safety and caused her to suffer substantial emotional distress, and it further appearing that petitioner has requested an extension for the protection from stalking order entered by this court on more than one occasion since its entry, establishing the basis for the extension of the order, and the respondent stipulates to the extension of the protection from stalking order for an additional 3 years, and now, therefore, it is considered ordered, adjudged, and decreed by the court that the respondent, Mary M. Broussard, be and is hereby found to be in contempt of the court's prior order, for which she should be sentenced to jail until such time as she has fully and completely deleted any and all references to the petitioner, whether such reference is her by her given name or a slang, fictitious name created by respondent, or any third party, from all videos and social media posts, and it is further ordered that respondent shall immediately and in the future cease, stop, and discontinue all further reference to or about petitioner and these proceedings, whether such reference to her is by her given name or slang, fictitious name created by respondent, or any third party, and it is further ordered that while incarceration as set forth above is an appropriate sanction for her violation of the order, the parties stipulate that the sanction shall be stayed for a period of 60 days to allow respondent to purge or clean herself of the contempt by removing all references to petitioner, whether such reference is her given name or slang, fictitious name created by respondent, or any third party, from her videos on YouTube and posts on all social media platforms, and it is further ordered upon stipulation of both parties that within 60 days the respondent shall provide proof of such removal of URLs listed in the attached addendum from the YouTube dashboard to the petitioner, and it is further ordered that the respondent shall immediately and forthwith cease any and all references to the petitioner as set forth above, and it is further ordered that the final protection from stalking order entered on May 7, 2024, be and is hereby extended for 3 years as stipulated by the parties, and it is further ordered that should respondent fail to comply with this order of contempt and fail to purge or cleanse herself of said contempt within the specified 60 days, a bench warrant may be issued for her arrest. Signed, Judge, Seal of the District Court.
And I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed of myself.
Ms. Vito, being an motherfucker, to all you clowns, I got one thing to say. Where am I today? Where clowns, motherfucker.
In the District Court of Crowley, Kansas, filed pursuant to KSA Chapter 60, Charla versus Shawn. Order of contempt. Now on this 28th day of October 2024, the above captioned matter comes on for trial on petitioner's motion for contempt and motion to extend order for the lifetime of the respondent. The Honorable Donna Lanning presiding. Petitioner appears in person and pro se. Respondent does not appear either in person or through an attorney, and thereupon, the court finds that the petitioner filed a motion for finding of indirect contempt of the court pursuant to KSA 20-1204A, that said motion included the statutorily required affidavit, an order directing respondent to appear and show cause as to why he should not be held in contempt, and Thereupon, the court finds that the matter is properly before the court, that it has jurisdiction over the respondent, as he was served with copies of both motions and the order to show cause by the Bradley County, Kansas Sheriff Department at respondent's residence on August 2nd, 2024. He voluntarily submitted to the jurisdiction of the court by appearing on September 3rd, 2024, before this court by Zoom hearing. That at that time, the court scheduled the evidentiary trial for October 28th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Said trial to be held and heard in person at the courthouse in Winfield, Kansas, and that respondent failed and refused to appear for said trial as scheduled. And thereupon, the court took evidence presented by petitioner in support of her motions previously filed herein. There was no evidence presented in opposition thereto, and it appearing to the satisfaction of the court that based upon the pleadings, papers, and other records on file before the court, and upon the presentation of evidence by petitioner, that respondent should be found in contempt of the protection from stalking final order entered herein on May 7th, 2024, for failing to, quote, immediately cease and desist all activity on YouTube, Facebook with YouTube, or other media platforms, whether by himself/herself or through third parties, that mentions or involves plaintiff in any manner, end quote, and for additional statements made or actions taken through his YouTube channel, which were knowingly and intentionally directed at petitioner, causing her reasonable fear for her safety and caused her to suffer substantial emotional distress, and it further appearing that such actions specifically include, but are not limited to, the gunshots included in discussions on September 14th, 2024, when referring to petitioner and others, threats to petitioner's husband and family made on July 2nd, 2024, threats directed at petitioner to prevent her from appearing in his state of residence for the purpose of serving him with the contempt motion, and an ongoing pattern of harassment by respondent personally or through third parties, which serves no legitimate purpose, and it hereby appearing that petitioner has requested an extension of the protection from stalking order against respondent for the respondent's lifetime, said motion having been served on respondent and set for evidentiary hearing, which respondent failed and refused to attend or offer evidence in defense hereto, and it further appearing that respondent has violated the final protection from stalking order entered by this court on more than one occasion since its entry, establishing a basis for the extension of said order for the lifetime of respondent. Now, therefore, it is considered, ordered, adjudged, and decreed by the court that the respondent, Shawn, be and is hereby found to be in contempt of this court's prior order, for which he should be sentenced to jail until such time as he has fully and completely deleted any and all references to the petitioner, whether such reference is to her given name or slang, fictitious, hashtag, or any other name created by respondent or any third party from all videos or the entire video if partial deletion is not possible, and it is further ordered that respondent shall immediately and in the future cease, stop, and discontinue all further reference to or about petitioner, whether such reference is to her given name or a slang, fictitious, hashtag, or any other name created by respondent or any third party, and it is further ordered that while incarceration as set forth above is an appropriate sanction for his violation of the order, the sanction shall be stayed for a period of 60 days to allow respondent to purge or clean himself of the contempt by immediately removing all references to the petitioner, whether such reference is to her given name or any other slang, fictitious, hashtag, or other name created by respondent or any third party referencing petitioner from his videos or other production through YouTube or social media platforms. And if such editing is not possible by removing the entire video or other production through YouTube or other social media platforms, and it is further ordered that the respondent shall immediately and forthwith cease any and all future reference to the petitioner as set forth above, and it is further ordered that due to the ongoing actions and repeated violations of the final protection order from stalking order entered on May 7th, 2024, that such order be and is hereby extended for the lifetime of the respondent, and it is further ordered that should respondent fail to comply with this court of contempt and fail to purge or clean himself of said contempt within the specified 60 days, a bench warrant may be issued for his arrest. Signed, Judge, seal of the District Court.
Okay, I don't know who's talking bad about.
I told Chesh, okay? She made that stupid AI picture of me and say, oh, your dog is trying to piss on a good furniture. First off, your parents ain't got no good furniture. Second off, because you have to make a ghost. Fuck AI. Pissing on your parents' good furniture. They ain't got nothing to make some fucking good furniture with damn AI shit. Fuck you.
That was funny. And we are back to our regularly scheduled broadcast. Oops. Okay. So, where were we? Oh, God. Okay, where were we? Where did we leave? Where did we? Where was I? Where was I? Okay, yeah, here we are. Here we go. Right. So, regularly scheduled Maanyaa cast. Making an AI picture. Oh no. Okay, alright, so yeah, so it's so as soon as I answer, like, how did Katie's Alive verify that email, she just evades the question entirely, right? They evade it, they never answer it, and then instead of like defending the email's authenticity or trying to demonstrate it, Katie's Alive tries to come back at me, right? And says like, why are you harassing Erin? Why are you using Sharla? And blah 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 blah. Going after ad hominem, trying to appeal to ridicule, and then Meghann is trying to appeal to a faction by saying, oh, they know that is very real. No, we don't. How? The whole this authentication question that I brought up is dangerous to them because it forces them out of performance mode, right? And into evidence mode. So they have to defend the evidence or verify the evidence. So instead of answering it, they throw mockery around like, it's a smoke bomb or something. So, yeah. I believe I was here. Here. Yeah. Yeah. I was here. So, here's that screenshot. Here. Right? So, again, asserting that something is real does not make it a real. Mocking the question is not the same as answering it. If the email was solid, she would defend the email or the authenticity of it, not come after me. And what is that on the screen? So yeah. And then also, oops, sorry, my bad. We go further, if I'm not wrong. So yeah. Then Intrigue, is asking a genuine question. Intrigue from the live chat said, there's also different standard to which we each hold. They accept mere the word, whereas we are more rigorous due to our academic education. And the quotes are also more rigorous, right? So that's another thing. Hi, right-handed Sith. Welcome. So, Intrigue Feline goes, again, the, like, quotes Katie's a liar and asks, like, if court is not the place to resolve the disputes, because that's what Katie's a liar trying to do, saying, oh, the court is being abused, right? So, if the court is not the place to resolve disputes, then what is court for? Erin and Co. are the ones that initiated the harassment. They were requested through a cease and desist to stop. They continued. The logical next step is to involve the court. That cannot be considered abuse. And then Intrigue continues. Erin has attempted to argue exactly that in court, which got struck down by the judge. It was struck down because there was actual harassment going on by the Erin and Co. that they need to stop. That is the end of it. Whatever you try to point out, quote unquote, is factually wrong. So Katie's a liar totally dismisses it and says, right, it doesn't matter what you say here. Charla is the one who started this whole charade. She's the one to blame. Your continued argument about this is laughable. How it is laughable, not demonstrated at all. Just asserting it again, right? Appealing to ridicule again. They have every right to defend themselves against harassment, stalking, doxing, and slander. No, they don't. They don't have any right to do that. They have restraining orders against them. Lifetime restraining orders against them. And then Katie's a liar saying, I don't see any of them tagging Charla incessantly like Charla did in the very beginning of this mess. Even if Charla did that at the beginning, doesn't mean that, they have the license to talk about her forever. Especially now, when they have restraining orders against them. That's not how it is. And just because you're not tagging someone doesn't mean that you're not harassing them. That's not how it works. And the courts have said in the paperwork that they're not supposed to, refer to Charla in any way. Not even as Kansas, like you do. And they do. She was trying to ask them to stop. That's why she was tagging. Yes, you're right, Intrigue Feline. And Katie's a liar is trying to make it something that was sinister when it wasn't. Or at the same level what Erin and everyone was doing. Which is not. And judge said, like Intrigue Feline is saying from the live chat, the judge said that these actions cannot be considered harassment. So again, what Katie's a liar is doing, she is very happy to relitigate the case on behalf of Erin, Meghann, and Shawn on the internet, but as soon as the burden of proof comes along, they don't want to deal with it, right? That's what they said. They said to Intrigue, it doesn't matter what you say. I'll keep on asserting whatever the fuck I want. Because it's not about truth searching for them. It's just about narrative spreading for them. That's all it is. And that's where they just turn out to be, it's proven that they're pathetic. They're just another troll who's trying to just, spread false narrative. Yeah, apparently Katie's a liar understands law better than the judge. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're very happy to relitigate it and be the judge and the jury on the internet. But as soon as the burden of proof comes along, they don't have any and they don't care. It's like they want to have their cake and eat it too. That's not how it works. There were not thousands of tweets. Definitely not thousands of tweets. That's an over-exaggeration, right? Replies, screenshots, tagging, harassing them or of them from Charla. Why didn't they tell her to stop? Did they tell her to stop? And again, the court said that Charla was defending herself and she was correcting the narrative. That is not harassment. And again, saying she has admitted this multiple times. Again, context matters. And it was in the, in the summary judgment of Erin's that Erin read on a channel. The judge said that that Charla tagging them and trying to correct the narrative, trying to get their attention and trying to correct the narrative and defending herself against their false narrative is not stalking nor harassment. And then again, you're saying she's unwell and unstable, and you all are using her gross. Again, taking her agency and autonomy away from her. As if people who have mental wellness issues cannot think for themselves. She was able to get restraining orders on her own against so many people. I think so she knows what she's doing. And she cannot be used. Let's just say that. I don't know if just Katie is a liar believed that the Charla and the judge were colluding, then there's no point. Right? Again, then it's quite clear that Katie is a lawyer doesn't care about the truth. All they care about is the narrative. And all they're trying to do is they're trying to continue dogpiling on Charla on behalf of Erin, Shawn, and Meghann, and Steve even. They're a troll who would just want to see, everything burn. That's all they want, and they find this entertaining. They're doing this for entertainment value. That's what this is to them. They don't care about the truth. This is the person who has, problems against DEI hires. This is the person. Ugh. So yeah. So, yeah. So again, and also, if we go further here, so Feline quote tweeted, Katie's a liar, and said, which again, you're wrong about. You're victim blaming here. Do you even understand what preceded the cease and desist? It is Erin and co not abiding by the Facebook group's rules, them being told no, and then they decide to dig their heels in harassing the petitioner. You believe that a person may not send a CND when they consider themselves being harassed? They, Erin and co, ignored it because they feel they are more important than anyone else. Mind you, the petitioner was not being public here. That was Erin and co making live streams about her. When a CND is ignored, at what point would one be justified to file the courts? Because what is the next step? And clearly the petitioner was justified in filing with the courts, as the courts are determined that petitioner was harassed. As the courts have determined that the petitioner was harassed. The judge likened it to a mob outside of the house. Erin and co lost their right to defend themselves there, since they have been deemed to be perpetrators here. The defense, quote-unquote, was considered and discarded by a judge. They are ignoring contempt hearings. They might not be able to argue at contempt hearings, but they did not. They might be able to argue at contempt hearings, but they did not. Erin and co claim all sort of things, but purposefully ignore the courts in its entirety. What is there for them to do is quite simple: to comply with the court orders. If they don't, then they will run the risk of facing jail time. There are already bench and arrest warrants out for them. By them continuing to defend, quote-unquote, themselves, to which they lost the right to do so, they further contempt and escalate the situation. If Erin and co just stopped in compliance, this could have been over already. It may feel quite unfair, however, that does not mean it is. So, actually, Intrigue is also trying to say, yeah, listen, I understand. It seems unfair, but it is court, and you abide by the court rules. Right? That's how it does. What funny is that majority of DEI hires were white women. Were they? Interesting. So yeah. And this is the whole thing, right? Katie is a liar is just disregarding the whole thing. Sharla asked them first on social social media to stop talking about it. They didn't listen. Then she sent them cease and desist. She went by all the fucking proper channels, but they didn't listen. So it's like, they should be able to do whatever they want. Is that what it is? That's not how the world works. That's what the courts are for precisely, right? And if we go back here, right? Right? This one, she's unwell and unstable and you're all using her. Gross. This is pathologizing her instead of like answering any questions that either intrigued us or I ask, right? It's like trying to as I said, discrediting Charlotte through like mental health smear and discrediting everyone defending her as exploitators. And it still does not answer the actual question. Are they breaching the order by continuing the public social media campaign? It's a simple question, right? So, yeah. And the issue here is not that whether Erin or Shawn or Meghann tagged Sharla or not, right? Like Sharla may have done that before. The issue is whether they talk about the reference and relitigate the petitioner publicly in ways the order forbids. Katie is a liar cannot really answer that, so what they do is they abandon the subject entirely and fall back on their favorite smear that Sharla is unstable, everyone defending her is using her. That is not a rebuttal, that's just a pivot. Right? Yeah, you Intrigue Feline said from the live chat said, note that I have not taken any party sides. My position is with the court and the process. Yep. That's why I decided to read this, because I was like, Intrigue Feline, you can see the contrast between how Intrigue Feline is approaching this and how Katie is a liar is approaching this. Right? RNGD from the live chat said they used to say the judge was corrupt. They can't say that now because there was more than one judge, so now they have to say the entire court system is corrupt in the town. Yeah, it's like they just keep escalating. If it's not this, then this, and not that, then that. It just keeps doing that. They can't be wrong, right? And this also tells us something, again over here, right? That Katie's a liar cannot say anything against the whole process, the court process. That's where they're just saying that the court was abused. But according to Erin and co, that the court is corrupt. So which is it? Is the court abused or corrupt? Or is it both? Like, it can be abused if it's corrupt. You can say that. But the question is, how did you establish that? Just because the outcome was not what you preferred doesn't mean that the court is being abused or is corrupt. You gotta demonstrate it. And they have not demonstrated it. And I think so they're not even qualified to demonstrate it at this level, because they're not educated enough to do that. They're not experienced, they're not lawyers, they're not even judges. None of them have any experience to do that. Or I think so even if I might dare say the intellectual faculties to do that. They don't understand their own orders, and they don't want to understand their own orders, right? And every time someone asks about the court process or about the verification of the whatever Katie is a liar is presenting, screenshots and stuff, right? They fall back to the script of using making fun of the person, or ad hominems, or incredulity, and ad hominems, and the whole thing of like, oh, you're using Charla is unstable, and and blah 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 blah. Right? That's their fallback script every time. RNGD from the live chat says, what is more likely, that the entire court system is corrupt or they are guilty as F? Yeah, right? Just like it can be a kangaroo court even though they're not in Australia. So, like we read before, right? And Katie is a liar had said here, it doesn't matter what you say here, Charla is the one, and yada yada yada. So Intrigue Feline quote tweeted that and said, which again you're wrong about, you're victim blaming. Do you even understand what procedures cease and desist and all that, right? I read that. And then to that, Katie is a liar replied, let's get something straight here, Charla is no victim. I'm afraid you don't get to decide that. The courts have already said that they are a victim. Right? And then you continue to stalk and harass Erin. That is not the issue at all. So anyone who is, accordingly, very conveniently, again, for Katie is a liar, anyone who, excuse me, who, gives Erin a pushback around, you've got a restraining order, a lifetime restraining order, you shouldn't commit contempt. According to Katie is a liar, that's stalking and harassment. That's not how it happens. According to Erin, everybody has freedom of speech. So if we have freedom of speech, what the fuck is Erin's problem? So her own argument collapses on herself. In this case, if everyone has freedom of speech and they can say whatever the fuck they want, yada yada yada, it's a public platform, what's the problem? Right? And then Katie's a liar saying, I have nothing to do with any court. Charlotte's continuing harassment and doxing of family members is quite insane. Again, if I remember, those screenshots are from 2023 and 2024, and we are in 2026. So what the fuck are you talking about? If we go back here, right? Hold on. It says 2023 here. This is 2024. Is there anything else? I can't see the dates here, sorry. This one is... I also can't see the dates here, so... Yeah. And again, that's just jumping to broad claims. Nowhere it says family members. It's one person here. One person here. And again, we don't know whether these screenshots are authentic or not. So there's this thing that it's not family members, number one, and number two, the authenticity of the screenshots that you have. Like, really? I'm just gonna move this here. We're gonna talk about this at the last. Lady Luma from the live chat. RNGD, or even erring on the side of incompetence, they're too dumb or proud to admit that they didn't have the grip on what occurred. They got in trouble and think they shouldn't be accountable. Yeah. So again, this is the same script, right? I have nothing to do with any court. Charlotte's continuing to harassment and doxing of family members is quite insane. Again, you continue to use mentally unstable person to harass her. And again, back to the same thing. Same thing, again and again. A script being repeated, right? When Intrigue Feline asked them, like, what happened before the cease and desist? Nothing. Just an assertion that Charla is no victim. This is all that Katie's a liar does, you know. They want all the authority of the legal language that they use, like, you know, doxing, harassment. Doxing is it? legal? I don't think so. Harassment, right? And stalking and all that stuff, right? But as soon as it comes with the burden of legal standards, they're just like, I have nothing to do with the court. How convenient, isn't it? Or they don't realize it, that what they're doing is they're trying to make legal assertions here, and when they're asked for like proof, the burden of, or to meet the burden of legal standards, they're refusing to do that. I think so. Katie's a liar doesn't realize that. Those are not even legal languages. Well, harassment and stalking are, aren't they? They are. They are vacuous. Yeah, this whole thing of using a mentally unstable person and doxing and all. Yeah, it's as a result of overuse everywhere. Yeah, you're right. This all is just evasion. That's all it is. This whole tweet here. This is all evasion. Every time someone questions them, to meet, the burden of, the legal standards, they just start avoiding and, fall back on the script. That's what happens. Right? And to the whole thing of like, tagging Charlotte incessantly and all that, Intrigue said, it doesn't matter whether they tag the petitioner or not. The order is clear to cease any talk and all mentions, references, or anything else, even remotely related to the petitioner. That also includes to third party like you. Again, if you had the evidence and merit, then it would have been brought before the court. The simple fact is that Erin and Co. didn't, meaning the position is unfounded and moot. You don't get to relitigate it on social media. That breaches court orders. And again, evading it, I have nothing to do with the court. Again, you continue to use a mentally unstable person for your vendetta against Erin. Again, every time Intriguing Feline is like, do not help them breach the court orders, they're like, I have nothing to do with the court. That doesn't mean that they are not dragging you into it. That's what they try to do to Jeremy. They try to drag Jeremy into it. And they have dragged you into it. We saw that you asked Meghann if you can screenshot and retweet those shots, and she said, "Yeah, go for it." So you are doing it on their behalf. Doesn't mean that you have nothing to do with the court, or you can't have anything to do with the court. This can be used in court against them. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe that's what you want. You want your conduct and your attachment with them to be used against them in court, so that their channels get yeeted off. Maybe that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping for those kind of fireworks, I guess. Because what else is there? Please enlighten me. Or are they vacuous and dyspeptic? Okay, what are we seeing here? Didn't I read this one? I thought I read this. So, Intrigue Feline said, which again you're wrong about, you're victim blaming here. You do understand what preceded, blah blah blah. You believe a person may not send a CND when they consider themselves being harassed. They, Erin and Co. ignored it because they feel they are more important than anyone else. Mind you, the petitioner was not public here. That was Erin and Co. making the live streams about her. When a CND is ignored, at what point would one be justified to file with the courts? Because that is the next step. And clearly the petitioner was justified in filing the courts, as the courts has determined that the petitioner was harassed. The judge likened it to a mob outside of the house. Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Intrigue. Yeah. Erin and Co. lost their right to defend themselves here since they have been deemed to be the perpetrators here. The defense was considered and discarded by a judge. They are ignoring contempt hearings. They might be able to argue contempt hearings, but they did not. Erin and Co. claim all sorts of things, but purposefully ignore the courts in its entirety. What is left for them to do is quite simple, to comply with the court orders. If they don't, then they will run the risk of facing jail time. There are already bench and arrest warrants for them. By them continuing to defend themselves, quote unquote, to which they lost their right to do so, they further contempt and escalate the situation. If Erin and Co. just stopped and complied, this would have been over already. It may feel unfair, however, that does not mean it is. Yeah, I talked about it. I knew it! I knew it! So yeah, and she's not the victim, that's here again. So, almost there. So yeah, so Katie and the liar said, you know, again, evading the question and, you know, going back to their, you know, the script that they have that doesn't make sense anymore, right? I have nothing to do with court. Again, you continue to use a mentally unstable person for your vendetta against Erin. Yeah, I know, I also got confused. Sorry, Intrigued. I also got confused. And then Katie is a liar comes back with, "Oh my fucking god, really? I'm bored with you. I'll continue to do what I want to do and I don't give a fuck that what anyone says about it. Anyone with a brain can see all of you harassing and stalking these people, all the while using an unstable person, and I'm calling it out. I call bullshit when I see it." So again, you know, again, this is not about truth finding for Katie is a liar. It's not about evidence. It's about narrative. That's all they care about. And they have said they will continue to do whatever they want to. And they don't give a fuck about what anyone has to say. So they're not going to entertain anything. Like what anyone says or if anyone tries to reason with them. They don't care. And to say anyone with a brain can see all of you harassing and stalking these people, that's just grasping at straws. Just trying to look like, you don't see other people. Which other people? We don't know. Right? This is again, this is just running away from the conversation, right? So I came back and I said, "You still have not told us how you verified that email you showed was from Charla." And then she goes off again and says, "And you still haven't told me why you're using a mentally unstable and unwell person for your continued harassment of Erin. You guys are getting old and boring as F. Your continued harassment and stalking of Erin is well documented." Again, it doesn't matter if it's well documented if it's not going to court. Erin had a chance in court and she missed it. She didn't go to her hearings. And that's not what you asked me first. You asked me that why Charla doxed you. And I said, and I told you that either she's looking for your information to serve you papers or you know, and also, you know, putting out last name is not doxing. And then I asked you, now can you answer my question? And since then it's been crickets. Because we know that Katie's a liar has no way of knowing the screenshots that they have or how to verify them. Someone just gave them to them, like Meghann or Erin or Shawn just gave them the screenshots and they just blindly believed them. And now they think it's an attack. They take it as a personal attack that people are pointing it out, so they're doubling down on it. Just saying. Hi, Unfinished Journey. How you doing? No, Katie's a liar. They're not reasonable. That's why I wanted to cover, you know, how Intrigue Feline and they both had a discussion, because there's a clear contrast between how Intrigue Feline is approaching the subject and how Katie's a liar approaching the subject, right? As Intrigue Feline said, they are with the court process. That's what they're sticking to. Katie's a liar is very emotional and clearly biased. They have nothing, no evidence, and also they're just saying that the courts are being abused. They are entirely dismissing the courts. So that's the contrast. Katie is a liar is dismissing the courts, and Intrigue Feline is sticking with the courts and the process, the legal processes. That's what's happening. Yeah, Intrigue Feline from the live chat. I've got ethics and standards, right? And again, harassing them again and again, saying, don't dehumanizing her, calling her Kansas, right? Trying to reducing Charlotte to a label, and almost like a proper enemy faction name, right? So she's stripping Charlotte of their personhood, and instead of saying, Charlotte may have said this or why, it becomes Kansas, like she's not an individual, but a symbol or a case file or a designated some sort of villain, right? And it's also like trying to flatten complexity into some sort of mythology. Kansas becomes a character in this story, not a real person, with context, chronology, or evidence questions, legal processes attached, or a backstory or context, right? It is easier to hate a label than a person. It's very easy to do that, right? And that's what they've been saying, right? Oh, the courts in Kansas are corrupt as fuck. So, and if they label Charlotte becomes that, part of that faction to be hated, or the corrupt, or the corruption, right? So it's also about signaling in-group familiarity. That's what it's all about. These like nicknames, they function like tribe markers. That's what they do. Everyone in their little choir knows who it is meant to be. And using the label creates a shared language of contempt against that individual, right? And then what has she paired it with is with someone else's tweet saying, don't play victim to shit you started and then go give the world a sob story. Right? This is classic victim blaming. Classic victim blaming. Assuming the conclusion in advance, right? Charlotte started it, therefore any claim or harm is fake, therefore any public account from her is a sob story, quote unquote, right? And therefore no one needs to evaluate the facts or the court findings. So this is doing a lot of heavy rhetorical lifting or rhetorical work here, right? Yep, shared language of contempt. It's dehumanizing. It also begs the question, right? Shit you started, like that there was the shit you started, it assumes that the key disputed point is already settled when it's not. It's also poisoning the well, saying sob story is meant to make anything that Charlotte says sound like manipulative before anyone even considers it, right? And then false narrative closure also. The tweet acts like the whole matter is already morally solved, when it's not. When the actual dispute involves contested facts, there's judicial findings and ongoing argument. And then, of course, the victim blaming, right? That's what it is. Yes, it went right over my head. Yep. Went right over my head. It happens. And and then what else? And then again, this is 100% your girl Charla facts, right? What? No. Come on. So this is like a vague post about like malignant narcissists, right? And then slapping it on a very complex situation, and slapping it on someone who's going through a very, you know, going through very specific, you know, emotions in a very going through specific list of emotions in a very specific situation, right? They are harassed, they are stalked, they are in fear of their life, they are in fear for their family and everything, and you're slapping this, you know, vague definition onto them, right? You know, assuming that because a vague description is resembling someone. Oh, shared language of contempt as in contempt of court. Ah, okay. I see. Okay, that's funny. So what this is association fallacy, right? Assuming that because a vague description resembles someone, it proves something true. I'm going to kill this thing. I'm going to smash this thing after this. I'm just going to pick it up and I'm just going to chuck it out the window. That's what I'm going to do because this is stupid. It's going off. And, you know, and also this is no proof. Again, this is just repeating of an assertion. And that's what Katie is a liar does a lot. Just repeats assertions. And what this is re-victimizing Charla. Right? And again, you know, this is again and again battering someone. Right? That's what this is. And this is associative emotional framing. That's all it is. This is also like you're trying to psychoanalyze someone without any basis. She doesn't have any qualifications. But this is what she's doing. She's trying to offer a psychological characterization without any proper basis. That's what she's doing. She doesn't even have any, you know, standard or diagnostic, you know, authority. And then poisoning the well and trying to appeal to emotion, you know, by trying to produce disgust or certainty. Oh, that sounds like her. Right? And this is one of the laziest moves you can say in the whole list of, you know, the tweets that they have made so far, right? Just posting a generic quote about malignant narcissist and, you know, who create like alternate realities. That's just like your, what can I say? You know how you try to like read horoscope and try to like match it with your day? That's what this is. It's just a vague psychological description, you know, as I said, that can be slapped onto anyone in a very going through a difficult situation or a difficult conflict. Right? So, yeah. Let me just make sure that I've gotten everything. Why are you opening with... Okay, here we go. Better. Much better. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I've covered everything. Yeah, we're done. We are done. What's the time? Not bad, not bad. 3 hours. 3 hours, is it? Wait, is this the same Katie is a liar that believed that 5G conspiracy theories and Holocaust denial? Yeah. Yeah. Can you find that Chesh's video that Chesh did about her? I want to play that when we finish. If anyone can find it for me, that would be great. That would be great. What's the name of that video? I'm trying to look for it, but I can't find it. Can anyone find it for me? I will be very grateful. Because I want to play it when we end the stream. What's the name of that? That's what I was trying to look for. When was it? Is it this one? Ah, yes, found it. Found it, 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 found it. Yeah, I found it. Okay, so. Come on. Move. I found it. Yes. We'll play this one before we end today. But, so where are we? Right, and the end of this. What we have seen here, right? It's over and over again. What we have seen here is that this crowd has taken selected screenshots, right? And they inflated narrow facts into maximizing accusations, substitutions, and then what they do is they substitute insults for standards, and they use legal language without any legal discipline or, you know, the burden of proof. And then they pathologize anyone who asks for proof, right? That is a machine. That's what it is. And that's what it is they're trying to do. They're trying to keep this machinery moving. They tried to drag Jeremy into it to keep it moving. Now they're drag Katie's a liar into it to keep it moving. I don't know who they're going to select next to do it, but yeah, they'll try and keep it moving. So yeah, so what do we do about this now? It's like, I guess every time when they try and do something like this, they try to rev up this machinery again. We will, you know, we'll cover it again. I guess that's what we'll do. Right? These guys have no proof. They have no way of verifying or authenticating anything. Right? And they just make claims like, you know, that Chesh is not fit to be a witness. Right? What's the proof? They showed the screenshot in which one of them has been tampered with. We can already see. And then when I asked how did they verify that the other screenshot was one authentic, or how did they verify that that email in that screenshot was from Charla, they just went back to, you know, their stupid rhetoric or narrative of, you know, pathologizing the whole thing. Oh, you're using an unstable person and blah 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 blah. Right? So yeah. Apologize for me, though I should have waited to see what else you had to say. Huh? What? Apologize to who? Don't worry about it. So it's this is a machinery. This is a smear machinery. A smear campaign. That's what this is. Right? I call it a machinery because that's what they do, right? They, as I've said again and again, what they do is they take very narrow points or very partial screenshots, and then they commit a sequence of same errors, you know, again and again. They take narrow points, you know, partial screenshots, and then they overgeneralize it, you know, far beyond what the material directly shows, right? And then they equivocate between different categories like digging, stalking, and doxing. And then they use words like proven, facts, abuse without demonstrating the chain of reasoning required, right? And then fourth, when they're challenged, they switch to insults, ridicule, pathologizing, and then burden shifting. And then fifth, they keep everything inside a self-sealing narrative where, the people who have restraining orders against them are always defending themselves while everyone else is harassing them. Right? And that's why it looks it looks like a smear ecosystem. That's what it looks like. And that's what I wanted to cover today. I hope I didn't bore you with all this. I know I have to do a lot of improvement on this, but yeah, this is what I had today to say. If you have any questions or anything, Maanyaa was like, don't worry about apologizing to him, LMAO. No. Don't worry. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. That's why I was just like, what's going on? Did I miss something? Yeah, if I'm not wrong, Pork Chop has been around the community for some time. So yeah, so this is what it is. In the end, this is just another way they try to drag Jeremy to try and rev up this, smear campaign machinery again. Now they are using Katie is a liar to try and do that. Let's see how far Katie is a liar goes. For me, it's like, it's really pathetic. Like, Katie is a liar. I guess either they're happy to be used, I guess, to spread misinformation and a false narrative. They are not about truth searching, right? They're just here to watch the fireworks. That's what they're doing. And maybe that's what they want, that they want to be an instrument that these guys keep committing contempt so they lose their channels. Maybe that's what it is. So yeah, any questions? Anything? Any last comments before we start this wonderful thing? And yeah. Anyone? Anything? I can be pretty rash or harsh sometimes, so sorry. Okay. Well, everybody's friends again now. Cool. Alright, cool. How long have I been there? How long have you been going for? 3 hours? 4 hours? 3.5 hours? Oh, 3 hours. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. Who's amazing? I'm not amazing. No, everybody's amazing. You're amazing, I'm amazing, everybody's amazing. Charlotte's amazing. Erin's not amazing. Alright, cool. So I will leave you guys with this, and yeah. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. Have a good day, everyone. Enjoy this. This is going to be fun. You know what? Actually, what I'm gonna do is window capture, video capture, linking device. Image capture. No, I don't need image capture. Cancel. How do I go about this? Okay, alright. Thanks everyone for coming. See you. And we are going to do Dump Fact Friday also, so enjoy that too. Right? Cheers. What happened there? God dang it. Maanyaa. Window capture was here. Then it goes boop. It goes boop. And then we make sure that the captions are up. Everything's is up. Boop. And I mute.
Hey, what up? It's me, ya boy, Man, it has been a while since we did one of these. I hope you're all excited because I cannot wait to disappoint you. Buckle up because I'm about to take you on a walk through the dumbest garden you have seen since, I don't know, the last time we did this? Grab your facepalm protection because...
You are not prepared!
So, this video is going to focus on these two users. And yes, I know, anyone familiar with these two are already aware that just being mentioned now has them creaming their pants over how much of a victim they're going to get to be. But I assure you, even if you have seen these accounts before, I promise you are not ready for what I'm about to dump in your lap. But before jumping into this, let's give them a chance to grab some panty liners to protect their chairs from the incoming waterfall and bring out our honorable mention. OG1 Wolf 420. You know they're serious. This is so unbelievably incomprehensible. I know it looks bad to read, but have you ever read this shit out loud? Ha 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 ha, thinking I would ever cheap or be controlled by anyone, laugh at yourself for even thinking that BS, ha ha ha, dog emoji. Oh, one more thing, just to your whittle hearts to rest since y'all hang on Steve's testicles every day. Sorry, Evier day. I'm doing this from here on out on my own choice. Steve, Veda, Erin, Madam Renell Rabbit, none of them asked me to do ish. I me wolf. That should clear up your stupidity. Issue on ever calling me a sheep. Effin' clown. Ha ha ha, middle finger emoji. Now, I've heard people speculate that he uses text-to-speech, and that's why his tweets look like this. But what on earth would you have to sound like for text-to-speech to spit this out? Well, isn't it your lucky day?
They'll tweet 30 million times a day. We may answer 4 of those tweets, but they're like we've been tweeting about them all day, and it's just not true.
I don't even I might reference one.
You don't even answer that many, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not even answer them. I just be like to you or something like that.
Yeah,
they have no power.
I've been laughing at them a lot more lately than anything. Whenever they say I'm cracking jokes on 24/7, they hate it because I'm not taking their stupid behind seriously at all. I'm just laughing at them.
You don't think it's
right?
I'll ignore we'll ignore 20 or 30 tweets. But we may answer 4 of them. But we answer those 4 hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be really bad if we actually responded to everything. It would be really bad.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We
and we
scale
don't.
back on that.
Yeah.
We scale back on that. Yeah, what the fuck do they do? Other than stalk us.
Wait. Did he just boldface lie about the amount of tweets he puts out regularly? Why? Check this out. This guy's account started, this particular account, out of the numerous he's had. This particular account started in October 2023, last year, right? It's now March. He has tweeted 33.6 thousand times. The math works out to an average of about 200 tweets a day. And we know that number isn't even actually accurate because it doesn't count some things sometimes because Twitter's a fucking mess. So it's likely more than that. Why would you lie about something so easily fact-checked? Were you so confident about this because you thought nobody would bother to just look? If you say something with enough confidence, ignorant schmucks will just believe you. Well, I mean, okay, I guess, if you like hanging out with ignorant schmucks. Jesus. Okay. Now that you've had time to grab your popcorn and panty liners, respectively, to the meat of the matter. Let's start with Katie as a liar. First thing to note is this person is a Jesus-loving Christian. You know, praise God, be like Christ, bear the fruits of the Spirit. That's why they're at the forefront of a hate group across multiple platforms, on an account dedicated to hate, because that's what Jesus would do. But we're not here to talk about harassment campaigns and companies.
Yeah, the company! Let's all sing the song. We love the company.
The company.
The company.
The company.
Even if we die, we love the company. No!
We're here for this. Libs of TikTok, a right-wing extremist propagandist who used to be a real estate agent, and this tweet is talking about someone's plea to be respected in general as a human being, you know, just basic human rights, and of course it's being used to espouse, not anything the point that's being made, but to mock and deny people basic human decency because transphobia. Talking about how respect being earned is about actions, but is not related or conducive to specifically talking about baseline human rights and respect. Alex fucking Jones! I am not going to elaborate on that. No! Jesus! Anti-vax and COVID misinformation propaganda perpetuated on, guess where? Rumble! Vaccines may not be appropriate for humans now? Really? Major safety concerns with COVID vaccines amid discovery of billions of DNA fragments in both Pfizer and Moderna vaccines? How do these vaccines impact humans? The explosion of cancer. Florida's Surgeon General sent these concerns to the CDC and FDA in a letter. Listen closely to what a doctor says. You've gotta be fucking kidding me. The Great Replacement with Charlie Kirk. You know, Nazis. Master?
Hold on, I need to tweet about this.
Sir Integra, is something the matter?
It's the fucking
Nazis!
Oh my god, Illuminati bot? They want you to be godless, sexless, genderless, childless, depressed, anxious, afraid, fat, drug addicted, lonely, physically weak, mentally weak, in debt, isolated, living in a pod, eating bugs, and dependent on the state for everything. Who's they? Oh, accusations about a bill in Hawaii that legalizes kidnapping children? You could change their sex? Huh? What? What? And of course, calling Americans' support of Ukraine, a NATO ally, against a Russian invasion, fucking treason. Because of course. You might have begun to notice a pattern here, but hold your horses, because we're not done yet. Maanyaa Nova. Though, surprise, we're starting off with, of course, transphobia with Matt Walsh. You know, the guy who doesn't know how to operate basic home appliances.
Matt, you answered, I hate them both, but dishes. Your wife said dishes, and she also threw in, he doesn't know how to do the laundry. Again, being thrown under the bus.
Advocates for the sexual butchery of children because, in his worldview, children can consent to anything, no matter how young they are. Yet that's not happening. Any type of transition going on with anybody of any age generally has a doctor involved at minimum, because how the fuck you gonna transition if there isn't a doctor involved in some capacity is beyond me. This is one of the most ridiculous lies I think I've seen spread by transphobic bigots for a while, and it's absolutely absurd. Libs of TikTok, again, but this time it's racism. Hashtag black supremacy is real. They loudly, boldly, proudly speak of their hatred for white people. Keep in mind that it's a hate crime if the roles were reversed. Chemtrails! I told you guys weren't prepared. Fucking chemtrails. More COVID anti-vax shit. But this time it's from the good doctor. This is the guy who pushed chloroquine, and back in 2022 had the American Board of International Medicine recommending that his certification be revoked because of all the misinformation he'd been pushing about vaccines and COVID. Oh, weird. And where do I even start with this? Besides inviting this guy onto Debate Hub, like really, what massive space lasers, frequency waves over the Gulf of Mexico, this morning's man-made electrical storms, toxic chemical space laser weather report, massive frequency waves or lasers may be causing new electrical storms in the Atlantic Ocean today. Welcome, warriors. We have shown unbelievable evidence of their technologies in all of our videos they used to create these storms. The chemtrails sprayed in our atmosphere and how toxic is. How it's destroying all life from the ocean to the birds to the bugs. I thought they wanted us to eat bugs. They changed their minds. Are they trying to kill all the bugs now? What do you do with this? Oh, brother. But on a more downward note, remember how I brought up, speaking of treason earlier? Yeah, Trump voters trying to stop Biden voters from vandalizing the Capitol, and now the Trump voters sit in prison. Flashback Trump supporters attempting to stop people from breaking windows at the Capitol, offering conflicting evidence to the narrative created by the January 6th committee. Yeah, guys, they weren't breaking into the Capitol to threaten politicians and hang Mike Pence. No. Definitely, instead, they were going to protect the windows like good Samaritans from all the Biden voters that weren't there. And of course, we've got a doubleheader of pro-Russia dick-sucking. Putin walked past all the world's leaders to shake Trump and Melania's hands. Bring back respect to the office of the United States President. All Americans, whether Democrat or Republican, need to understand that the world is watching. Make America great again. There was no collusion, everybody. What are you talking about? But really, hateful, bigoted, racist, anti-science, traitorous Nazis. What more is there to say? But how do you get like this? How do you fall so far down the hole of conspiracy that you're actually out here promoting this shit? Well, these people are your supporters. These people are the people you're promoting and agreeing with. And how does someone prevent themselves from becoming a hateful piece of human garbage? Well, like and subscribe, losers, because we're going to be back with a few people who actually know what they're talking about to discuss the mentality of conspiracy. We'll see you next time. I just want to be clear here. I didn't have to go digging to find any of this. I literally just looked at the front page as I was writing this script. Oh. Hey. Yep. Really quick. The short answer is critical thinking, but you probably already knew that.